What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Ark Survival Evolved. My name is Splattercat. I'm happy to have you here today. Our torch broke, even though it was invisible. That's very, very interesting. We'll fix that in just a second. So, the previous episode that I'm going to put up, and I'm saying this now to remind myself as well, because I'm going to go back and edit all this out afterwards. The previous episode is going to be a stream wherein I built all of this stuff right here. Speaking of which, it's very, very easy to get stuck on top of your scorpion like that. Don't jump on top of your scorpion. The scorpion's structural integrity is not enough so that your scorpion will not get you stuck if you do that. That's Big Bad Benny right there. Big Bad Benny, unfortunately, he comes by my base every now and again. Sometimes he likes to stand on top of it. See, he scared the shit out of one of my battle dinosaurs, and they're carnivores. Carnivores are not afraid of anything. And so anyways, watch that stream. We were able to kill T-Rexes and all kinds of other stuff. It was very, very cool. But we got all this built up. I'm going to do my best to get that VOD put up on YouTube, but if I forget, and at the time that this video goes up I haven't done it, remind me, and I'll go ahead and try and do it. Okay, and so this is our base for right now. If you wanted to see where we're at on the map, we're right next to that spot that I said, oh good, the map didn't pop up because I'm in third person. We're right next to that spot that I said I wanted to go to. In fact, the mountains that we're looking at right, and like over that's like the little areas right there on the. You can actually go up a little bit higher. I went up and over the mountains and checked it out before I did the stream. There's a lot of like Argentavis and whatnot up there. I think that's what I want to do in the next episode. But for this one, we need to get busy with the building, and so I can fix that is going to be the name of the game. In fact, not even fix that. I can build that. Let's go ahead and do it. We need 2 ramps, which I haven't built just yet, but we need to put up secondary walls along all of this as well, so that we can start putting the roof in. All that I need here, very basic shelter with like a sleeping bag or something inside of it so that if I die over here, I don't have to hoof it like 35 minutes all the way back, because seriously, that walk right there, while it doesn't look so bad on the map, in reality, you have to go all the way around the coast until you find this little pass through the mountains. Otherwise, you have to hoof it through the jungle, and the jungle has like raptors and all kinds of crazy stuff everywhere, so you don't really want to do that either. I would highly recommend that we probably make a sleeping bag at some point, especially this. We killed a lot of stuff. If you want to know where our levels are at, our dinos have been leveling up around the clock. I think I've got them all taken care of right now. I think we're missing a dino. Am I missing a raptor? No, there's one hidden in the middle. There he is right there. He's squooshed in between. Can I get him all taken care of? They're looking good. Gash Nasty is actually almost at 1,000 HP right now. He's a pretty useful member of the party. He does a lot of damage, and even more importantly, he carries a lot of weight. Like, I like having him around because he's got a strong back. So, with our, what can I do over here? Let's say that I take that. Can I still walk? I can? Well, if I can still walk, that sounds fine, just fine to me. Big Bad Benny, please don't step on me. I would love for you not to do that. You can't be part of the nasty crew. I already told you. He's like, I can't be part of the nasty crew. I will crush your walls with my enormous mammoth foot. And I'm like, well, it's more of like an elephant foot, I think, but it is kind of adorable. I do want to hug it. It looks like one of those pillows that you put on your couch that, like, it's there for decoration, but at the same time, there's always that person that grabs it. They're like, oh, it's one of those cylindrical pillows. And they get all excited about it. That's what it reminds me of, one of those cylindrical pillows that goes on couches from the 70s that you hug because it's attached to a brontosaur. He just walks back and forth over my base. I debated briefly killing Big Bad Benny, but you know what? I think he adds character to the area. Plus, look at that skin coloration. I like how he's got, like, weird, I don't know. It looks, look, he's got a little peninsula right there that runs off, and then he's got, like, some normal spots right there. It's almost like he's got a map on his body. It's pretty cool. He's also got a seam. I would make a joke about that right now, but it would be obscene, and so I'm going to squelch it for just a second. I'm sure if you think really, really hard, you'll know what I'll refer to when I make that joke, but, you know, fill in as you want to. We need to put in this second wall, and so I went to all the trouble of farming out like a gajillion wood. It took a while. A gajillion is a bigger number than one would think. I should probably go over and get that green beacon, too, before it despawns. Only for the reason that you get like recipes and stuff out of it, and so you can actually save yourself some EP if you really, really want to. I'll probably run over there in just a minute once we get these all up, but just give me a second. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I'll probably just go up 2 stories at first. We've made ourselves a bit of a longhouse. The door is going to be over here. It is really, really easy to find with respect to the rest of the map. It sticks out like a sore thumb, or honestly, any thumb. Your thumb is sort of defined by sticking out of the side of your hand in a weird way. And so anyways, it doesn't even need to be sore. I'm going to save you the pain and the trouble. Instead, let's slam some of these down on top. I'm not going to slam down any on this wall, though, because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get this to work. So what I want to happen is I want there to be 2 floors here, and I haven't exactly figured out the method by which I'm going to make that occur. But I want there to be 2 floors, and putting in the walls, it may just waste my materials, and I might have to break down the walls in just a minute, so I'm not going to do it. So just stick with me for a second. This area is really laggy, by the way. Because there's so many dinosaurs around, for whatever reason, this area, like, I get a bad frame rate, but only in this area for some reason. And so the next couple episodes might be a little bit wonky as we run around trying to get our Argentavis, and as we try to get ourselves some other fancy stuff. But for right now, just bear with me. It's kind of just like the growing pains of the game, I guess. I think I've got some other stuff. No, Parasaur, what are you... Why did they kill him? I didn't even touch him. Okay, apparently they decided to gang mob that guy for no reason whatsoever. Just don't do it with Big Bad Benny. If you do it with Big Bad Benny, I'm afraid he's going to do some terrible things to us. You guys follow me over here. Just stand aside. I'm not exactly sure why they did that. He didn't attack me or anything like that, and I don't think I hit him. You know, like one of those weird situations where your dinos just like do whatever the hell they want. I don't know. He was an herbivore in the wrong corner of the map. He crossed the tracks, and unfortunately, he will not be allowed to pass back through. I don't know if I have enough ceilings to get this all done. In fact, I can virtually guarantee you that I don't. I think I have like 3 right there, and then that gives me 5 altogether. That's not going to be enough ceiling. Do I have any on any of these dinos right here? I do. I was going to say, I thought I had more wooden ceiling around somewhere. I said wooden ceiling. Wooding, I don't think that's a thing. That verb is not one that I am actually familiar with. I'm accidentally jumping on top of the dinosaurs, by the way, in case you're wondering. See? Stuck on top of my scorpion again. It happens all the time. I try not to do it, but it happens pretty frequently. And it's actually only since the last patch. If you punch him, it'll let you off him, and luckily they don't all jump on him and, like, crash mob him or anything like that. The nasty crew, they're always on the lookout, and they're bad. They're real bad. You don't want to mess with the nasty... Oh, I've got 98 wood in there. Well, maybe I'll take that wood and make myself a couple more ceiling. Oh, 1 more ceiling because it takes an exorbitant amount of wood in order to accomplish. Well, we might end up farming a little bit in this episode, but I don't think it'll be that bad. I think we should be all right. He's going to take some more HP on his level up, by the way, while we're taking a look at him. If I can get past their adorable little feathery swooshy tails, I think... And what part is that right there? That little dangly bit in the back? Even the females have it, I think. I don't know what that is. It maybe, well, I was going to say it's the balls, but, you know, they don't all have those. And plus, I'm not even sure that reptiles have those. I don't know. My reptile biology is a little bit off. Somebody that's really into reptiles will have to fill me in because I don't know. Let's go ahead and jump up in here. Wait, which one of you is leveled? Oh, it's you in the middle. Of course it's the one in the middle. That's always the hardest one to target. There it is. And so Blast Nasty actually officially has 1,000 HP now, which is really, really good for a raptor. The Nasty crew has not found anything so far that they couldn't kill. I haven't tried them out on a Spinosaurus yet, but I might. I just might. I am terrified of losing my friends out here, though, because this is a very, very dangerous part of the map. And so I would watch out. Ooh, this is going to be a mess, isn't it? I need to get back inside, like, post-haste. Unfortunately, although I've never understood that, because honestly, if there's one thing I know about the postal system, it's that they very rarely do anything with haste. But you know what? I don't want to fire any shots because I got stuff in transit right now. I'm afraid somebody's going to look it up and like cancel my package and make me all sad. And I like my package. My package makes me happy. I like it on the way here because it's been disembodied from me for quite some time. Don't ask. There's a long story behind that. You don't want to know. Anyways, that looks pretty good to me. I think what I might try to do is maybe put a walkway right here? I don't know if it's going to work the way that I want it to, but this building's actually going to get a lot taller. I think if I go... Let's say that I put a roof right there. And I put a roof right here. And then on this side, I put a ramp, and that'll go up. Because what I want to do right now is I actually 100%, I want this to be a second floor. However, I know that if you put in a ramp, you can't put in that back wall right there. So this might all just end catastrophically. I'm warning you. My building plans almost never work out the way that I want them to. And so we'll go like that. We'll go like that. And then I think I may need to expand that out slightly right there. So technically we would have to put one right there too. But that looks kind of cool, so I'm okay with it. I don't know what I'm going to put down in here. I don't know, maybe a happy little tree or something like that. We'll Bob Ross it up. And then I think we've got 1 ceiling left maybe. Ah, that's right. Defecate like the wind, my friends. If the wind could indeed defecate. And then we'll go right here. We'll drop that into space. Very, very nice. Not into spaces like the Final Frontier, but you know what I mean. And then on this side, I would probably recommend putting in a wall right there, and maybe dropping in a wall right here. I don't know, some people like building episodes. I'm always a little bit iffy about building episodes because I never know if it's what people want to see. But if I put one in right there, it might give us a nice little divider from the rest of the house and make it look good. I'm happy with it. I think it works. And then this will serve, this little partition right here will serve as a place to be my bedroom, essentially, so that I can walk around this corner. I'm going to destroy that fire pit in a little bit. It's only there because you freeze to death on this part of the map because it gets really, really cold at night. Even with hide armor on, I froze to death, and so I was like, well, damn, I need to get that sorted out, like, right this second, don't I? This will be where my bed's going to go over here on this corner. We'll put a roof in. We'll have an upper layer as well where we can do, like, all of our forging and random stuff. This might be a little bit out of control with regards to what we need in order to get stuff done, but I think it works just fine for me. I'm happy with it. And so since I'm happy with it, I'm going to ask that all of y'all be happy with it as well. We still got another foundation right there. Don't think that's going to help out too much. Instead, I'm going to put the wooden wall on the back of my lovely, lovely albino. What is he? He's like a carnotaur. God, look at those little legs. They're like cute little kitten arms. I like them. I don't know, they're cute. I kind of just want to grab them and play with them real fast. Or do that thing, you know, like when you have kittens and you take their paws and you rub your thumb on the inside of their little fingers and their paws are like, nyeh, and they stretch out a little bit. I feel like if I touch the inner parts of that right there, it would go, nyeh, and it would stretch out a little bit. I don't know. His little hands are adorable. I like them. Oh, he leveled up again? We didn't even do anything. Good for you, man. Good for you. Let's go ahead and get him up there. Yeah, almost 1,000 HP on him. He's looking good right now. I think that getting things up to 1,000 HP is a pretty good plan. I'm not going to advocate for it because obviously there's probably people out there who are much better at the game than I am who would know better. But 1,000 HP seems to be the spot that I try to get my guys to make them a little bit more resilient. If they're like 400 or 500, they can actually get flash mobbed super hard by raptors. So let's say you get attacked by like 4 raptors at the same time. And I tested this when my Carnotaur had like 400 HP. We got attacked by 3 or 4 raptors and they got him down to really, really low health just by focus firing him. Even with all of the DPS that I have available that's trying to take him out, you know, it still almost went very, very poorly for me. And I like things to go richly. And so on this side over here, we need to chop some trees, don't we? Let's chop some trees, shall we? That'll be fun. Do some lumberjacking for a little bit. There we go. 1 tree down. These trees have insulted my family, and therefore they must die. Down they go. What was the name of the guy? Montresor. That was his name. It was Montresor and... God, I forget the name of the other guy. Started with a C. I don't know. It was an Edgar Allan Poe thing. Montresor. It was in the Cask of Amontillado, as I recall. It's one of my favorite Edgar Allan Poe stories. Because he locks a dude in a wall. So gangster. So ridiculously gangster. He's like, wait, you insulted my family? Well, I'm going to lock you in a wall. That's what happens to you. Little bit psycho. Sure, and it was for something he did like 25 years ago. He insulted his family like hella long ago. And he like spent all that time plotting around it still. Pretty badass story. Hooray, more wood chopping. Sorry, I had to do like a little cut right there because my recording software was being very, very odd. It was looking at me, it was twitching, it was chewing on a little bit of wood that it found somewhere in my house, and I'm like, where did you get a fresh cutlet of wood in my house? What is that, cedar? That smells delicious. I wouldn't chew on it, but it still smells delicious. So yeah, today, for those of you that may have jumped in the middle of the episode somehow magically by some force of YouTube, we're working on our house. We gotta make some ceilings and stuff, otherwise it's never gonna work. We also gotta make some ramps, and oh my god, this area, I don't know what it is about this area, but it does not love me at all. It makes my computer want to cry and then die, and then it makes it very, very shy. So I think if I can... Oh, man, I'm already weighed down. All right, we got this. We got this for right now. Let's jump up in here, and I need to... Oh, yeah, it was ceilings, wasn't it? It was ceilings. We can make 3 of those. I'm going to load them all up on the Carnotaur in just a minute. He's great for carrying stuff, by the way. 300 weight allotment is pretty solid, and it makes me really, really happy. That side, that should be done in just a moment. Good, good, good. And now that that's finished off, our weight should be a little bit lower so that I can start gathering even further wood. I'm going to whistle real fast just to make sure that they're sticking with me for a second because I have the feeling my dinosaurs get isolated a lot, and that's the other reason that I hate making the walk from our other base to this one with dinosaurs in tow, because they get stuck on everything. There's a really, really dense, thick jungle that is just like super lush and beautiful, and actually I think it's amazing they managed to recreate what feels like an organic jungle inside of the game, because obviously jungle zones sometimes feel kind of linear to me, like they feel sparse, whereas real like jungle, you gotta hack through it with a machete, and this game is no exception. Like, it is difficult to get through the jungle in this game without at least getting stuck a few times, and I spend a lot of time clearing out rocks and like making spaces for my little guys. It takes forever. I call them little guys even though they're like 7 feet tall. I assume, I mean, especially him. Calling him a little guy seems like it's a little bit demeaning, but you know what? He doesn't know the difference. He doesn't speak English. You've got tiny arms. What do you know about anything? He's like, no! My heart is broken. You pointed out my one true weakness, my tiny, tiny arms. I need to eat some food real fast. There we go. How you doing on that rotten meat right there? I heard that Argentavis likes the rotten meat. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but hey. Oh yeah, if you're wondering where all of my narco arrows went, so we picked up a bunch of narco arrows in the previous episode. I guess my game crashed. I was a little bit upset about it, and it actually caused things to roll back. So we lost the loot, but everything else is okay. On the plus side, on my second way back to do what I had already done, I took a different route, and I found Bolosaurus Rex, so I took him back to the house, too, so that's pretty cool. Still, what are you gonna do about it? Sometimes, shit gets real. These Stegosauruses make me nervous as hell. I want a Stegosaurus because I've heard they're super useful for farming out certain things, but for right now, I don't like them being near me. Let's jump up on my scorpion real fast, and we'll take off over to here. Who would have ever thought that a scorpion was that quick? The way it holds its butt up in the air always bothers me, though. I don't know. It just seems too at the ready for me. I'm kind of like a nonchalant, just sort of like apathetic human being, and so if I was a scorpion, I don't think I could ever keep my tail at attention like that. I just wouldn't care. I'd be like, I can't do it. Apathetic scorpion. Nature created me to be what I am. Apathetic, sometimes nihilistic, I don't know. I've got a weird streak inside of me. It's one of those things. Normally, scorpions are known for their optimism. I mean, we've got stinging tails that shoot poison. How awesome. Well, they don't shoot poison. They inject poison. But still, how badass is that? Don't you wish you had a poison tail? I wish I had a poison tail. Oh, wait, I do have a poison tail because I'm a scorpion and I was talking to that person. Ha! They're going to chop him up real fast. This guy's probably reasonably hungry. There's actually not a lot of forest around here either. I opted to build a base in a location that becomes deforested very, very quickly. Bit of a downer for me. There's so many dinosaurs around here. I want that Ankylosaurus really, really bad, but I just don't want to sit here for an hour and a half to get him. I heard he's great for farming rocks. Probably a good thing to have, but we can't even make an Ankylosaurus saddle, so why would I even worry about it? We're going to deforest further. We want to make Smokey the Bear cry, although there's no bears as far. Are there giant bears back then? I bet there was. There was like a giant everything back then. Even the mammals were huge. I know that, like, when you're little, they tell you there were, like, no mammals back, but there's, like, saber-toothed tigers and all kinds of, like, stuff. There's probably a saber-toothed bear or something back then, too. If not saber-toothed, at least dagger-toothed. Something large. Bears are hella scary. You want to know there's a bear on the California flag? Because there's lots of bears around here. The black bears aren't so scary, but the grizzlies. I don't know, every now and again, you get one of those grizzlies that, like, mauls somebody that's on a running trail. Although we have mountain lions out here, too. We have pumas. Pumas are no joke. Those things are gnarly. They don't typically bother people, but, like, it's a real thing. Like if you're hiking in California, Northern California especially, don't go without a partner or a dog or something. Like one of the big deterrents to a puma is that it won't attack you if you're like in a group of people. They only look for solitary people. But they had like one, I tell this story all the time, but it's for all the new people that may have come in with this series. A while back, they had a puma that dragged a guy. There was a marathon. I'm sorry, not a marathon. There was like a, what do you call it? I guess there was a bike race, I guess. It was just a cycling race. And so anyways, puma dropped out of a tree on top of one of the cyclists, killed him instantly, and then dragged him up a tree and ate him. They found him like a day and a half later. I was like, damn! That's some super scary shit right there. If that doesn't terrifies me, you're just riding along on your bike in the middle of a race, and a puma's just like, gotcha, bitch. That's it. Like, life over. Done. Landed on you so hard that it snapped your neck. And then, even worse, he dragged you up the tree like Predator and skinned your ass. That's terrifying right there. That's some gnarly horror movie stuff. I'm not afraid of pumas, though. I saw one time. That was kind of wild. I saw one off in the distance walking up a hill. I was like, damn. And I didn't even know. I looked it up after that, and apparently it's like the 3rd largest cat in the world. That's something they never tell you around here. It's like the 3rd or 4th largest cat on the planet. It's big. They're real big. I had a friend that swears up and down that a mountain lion came down while she was in her hot tub and drank out of her pool. She lives way out in the country. She swears. I have no reason not to believe her, so I don't know why I make that sound unlikely. It just seems like, I hope they can't swim. I'd be like, oh shit, this is it for. I'd be so upset. I don't know what I would do if that happened to me. I'd probably brown my hot tub. I'd probably have to drain it and clean it out. I don't think any amount of chlorine would get that out. It would be worrisome. I don't deal with giant predatory cats very well. I can barely deal with the little tiny predatory cats that live in my house. We need thatch. We actually ran out. If you farm out, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say right now, which is why I'm stumbling over it. Usually, so what I do is I think about what I want to say. So as I'm talking about this sentence, I'm thinking about the next sentence I'm going to say. And so when you work on radio or you work on YouTube, especially, I learned this when I used to work on radio, is that you think of the next thing you're going to say while saying the thing that you're saying to avoid ums and pauses and things like that. But occasionally I get caught up just like everybody else. And so as it stands right now, and I forgot what I was going to talk about. Well, damn, that's unfortunate. let's continue slaughtering trees. Why not? This arboreal slaughter is working out for me pretty well. I think that I just want to get the house done right now. It's going to have roof access. I don't think I'm going to do that on camera like the second half. I'll probably just come back and be like, look at what I have accomplished. And then you guys can be like, oh, yay for you. You made a 2-story building. Hey, you know what I did one time? I remade the Chrysler building in Minecraft. And I'd be like, oh, well, I'm untalented, so all of my buildings look like squares. So thank you for that, Mr. Story Topper. Steven the Story Topper. I don't think that works. Timothy Topper. There we go. That works, kind of, although that sounds kind of filthy, too. We gave him the old Timothy Topper. I'd be like, what does that mean? I'm going to Urban Dictionary this and regret it. I can tell already. I'm not going to be able to wipe this clean. Nope. More thatch! I apologize for what's turned out to be a farmy episode, but I already farmed wood for like 2 hours, and I was like, I should really like make an episode at some point today. I figured we hadn't built anything in a really, really long time, so we might as well jump. I mean, we did like 3 episodes ago, but I built like 4 things, and then I quit, and I was like, whatever. We'll go work on something more fun like murder. And so let's build ourselves those ramps. I think we needed 2 ramps, and that's all that we needed. Where are those hiding at? Ramps! Ramps! There they are. So we got 2 ramps right there. We've got, how many ceilings have I compiled here? Compiling. Compiling, although I used to be a programmer, so anyways, I was a computer science major, but then I dropped out of it because I got bad grades and I washed out just because I got stuck. I've told the whole story before. It was not really my fault. Like, I was going to tutoring like 6 days a week. I just couldn't wrap my head around this one section, and couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, got burned out, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to change majors. I don't care anymore. I still would like to get back to programming one day because I liked it when teachers and like professors and, you know, people with PhDs and whatnot were not involved. I'd like to get back to it someday. Programming actually came fairly naturally to me. It's just like a couple concepts that I got hung up on, and while I was hung up on those concepts, I fell behind, and by the time I picked it up, and I was going to tutoring like every day, it was the most stressful year of my life, believe me when I say that. I was getting tutored something like 20 hours a week. I was studying nonstop, and I was still like failing over and over again. So if you're going through that right now in your life, just, you know, be aware. You will come out the backside of that. It's not the end of your life if you fail a class, even though it can feel like it's going to be at the moment. If you're doing all the things you need to do, you know, and you still fail, it's not your fault. You tried really, really hard. You did all the things you could do. You studied as intelligently as possible. You just got behind and couldn't recover. It is what it is. Nothing to feel self-conscious or bad about. It's a thing that happens when you're engaged. Like, somebody's going to fail a class every now and again. It happens. I always hear it's always so sad, like around here, because I live next to UC Davis and like a bunch of really, really major UCs out here that run their students really hard. And every now and again, you get a student that offs themselves because they can't get the grades they want or whatever. I don't know. It just seems really sad to me. You should be like, man, it's not... You realize this is not the, like, seriously, this is not even like a major part of your life. Like, this sucks right now. And college, I always tell people, college was one of the most stressful, just like... I always tell people I went to college well-adjusted and normal, and by the time I graduated, I was anxious. I had, you know, I couldn't sleep. I had all kinds of weird neuroses, and it was all college's fault. And it goes away. I'll tell you that, like, a year later after graduation or whatever, I sleep perfectly fine. I sleep like a baby. I don't worry about things like I used to. It's just part of the college experience. And I always feel like somebody should have told those kids, like, it's not that bad. Like, you're going to be okay. Like, failing a class, it happens. Take your failures as part of the learning experience. Learning to fail is an important thing. The people that are most successful in life are the ones that learn to fail and just keep on trucking. They're like, I failed. Well, I guess that I learned that didn't work right there. Let's try something different this time around. And they apply the knowledge they've gained, but just don't get too wrapped up on it, especially if you're in that situation right now. It's like, it'll be over. Believe me, after you graduate and you're all done with everything, you'll look back on it and you'll be like, I don't get why I was so stressed over that. It was just like a letter on a piece of paper. And like, yeah, at the time it was important, but not that important. Like, not important enough to end your life over. That's for sure. Like, whatever. It's a piece of paper that says you know stuff about science or whatever it is you study. It's not that big of a deal. It's a life goal. But if you got to retake a class, retake the class. Maybe you'll get it the second. Take a different teacher, though. That would be my advice. I wanted to get a Triceratops, too. Oh, man. Can I get a Stega yet? What level am I right now? I'm at level 29. Oh, we're about to hit level 30, though, and there's, like, guns and stuff at level 30, so I kind of want to have the points available just in case. How much wood am I carrying with me? 140? Since we already made that, maybe a couple more ceilings just to, like, round out the package. So there it is. We've been talking about packages a lot during this, and you know what? Forgive my lusty I didn't mean to do that. I swear! It was unintentional. No, I don't really care. That came from somewhere, probably deeply subconscious. Let's go back over to here. And if we can ride back to our base, I just want to get this all nice and completed. That was the whole point of this episode. It was what I was excited about. In the next episode, we're going to go after one of our birdie friends, I think. I'd either like to get myself a pterodon or I would like to get myself a lovely Argentavis. I don't know if it's going to be possible. The Argentavis seems like it doesn't have that much HP. That said, I don't have that many trank arrows, and I don't have the ability or the means to make more of them right here from where we're sitting. I do have a lot of rocks, so I might be able to make a new mortar and pestle and then make it out of that. Argentavis seems like it'd be nice to have around. I don't really like pterodons. I've never been a fan of pterodactyls. Never have been. Not once in my entire life have I ever thought, yeah, I want a pterodactyl as a pet. I just don't dig them. Something about that animal is not attractive to me. However, a giant Guahir-sized eagle that can fly me all around just in case I need to like throw a ring into a mountain or anything. It'd be nice. It's a bug out. It's a bug out critter. Is he walking on water right now? Oh my god, it's Spinosaur Jesus. Let us all give sacrament. Or take sac. Do you give or take sacrament? I don't remember. Meh. That raptor's moving right there. Man, he was locked in on that parasaur. I almost called him a paleosaur. That parasaur, he was locked in on him. He was ready to go. So many little critters around here that I really should just like off. I do want to make a trike saddle because it would make it easier for me to get narco berries and things like that. And I do spend a lot of time farming. Huh. I'll think about it. Worst case scenario, this Dilophodon's got to go, so let's get him real fast. I like his coloration, though. I like your colors, bud. It's just business. It's not personal that I'm killing you right now. Ah, that load right there. Very, very... Oh, I shouldn't do this because they're going to block me in my house. They've done it before, and then I had to come up with alternative means anyways. Tertiary means or second... I guess it would be secondary. Not, oh, I hit my own dinosaur. That's not a good way to inspire confidence. My bad, guys. I didn't mean to. I was blinded. I didn't mean to hit you. It wasn't my fault. Like fighting over the meat over there. That's perfectly fine by me. Let's get back inside the building very, very quickly. And while we're here, I think I put the ceilings on somebody else and also the ramps. Who did I put them on? Probably the big guy or maybe the scorpion. Either or. Pick one. So he's got my ramps. Oh, and he's got my ceilings too. Good. Well, let us seal, shall we? Let us seal like crazy. I always thought it was weird that seal, like the word seal is like S-E-A-L, but ceiling has C-E-I-L. They must have a different Latin root or something like that. But I always thought like you seal a building and like you're sealing up above your head. It seals your house from water or whatever. I don't know. I would be interested in figuring out why, if they're from the same origin, I would be interested in figuring out like why it is that way. So yeah, I think you could put the ramp in if the wall is already in. But if the wall is not already in, you can't do it. So putting in a second ramp right here would be folly for right now. It would be a bad idea. I mean, I guess I could put one in and then tear it out after the fact. But watch, if I put a ramp in right here, well, I don't have any extra walls, do I? Do I have any extra walls? I don't think that I do. I think I used them on just kind of like weird frivolous things, and I put them like over there. Well, this is going to have to come out right here. That's all that I'm saying. It's going to have to come out. Let's grab that from right there. And we'll put in a couple more ceiling pieces. There we go. Ooh, this is going to look nice. This is going to look very, very nice. And at least we've got a little bit of shelter here for right now. So my name is Splattercat. That's going to be pretty much the conclusion of our building of our house. I'm going to make a big dino pen off and on that side that we can kind of just like pasture these guys in. I'll see y'all later. Hi do, everybody. Argentavis in the next episode, hopefully.